Apology from the United States, decades in the making. That apology to Native American tribes coming from President Joe Biden here in Arizona today. The president apologizing for the federal government's policy that separated Native American children from their families for generations and forced those children to go to federally approved boarding schools. News 4 Tucson's political specialist Eric Fink joins us in studio with part of President Joe Biden's apology and reaction from a Tucsonan who's a member of the Pasquayaqui tribe. Eric.
Sean, that program that forced Native children to go to boarding schools for forced assimilation spanned 150 years before stopping in 1969. The president's apology came today, 55 years later, here in Arizona at the Gila River Indian community outside of Phoenix. And the Native American I spoke with says he hopes this apology sparks a new beginning for his community, one that's more embraced by others.
I'm hoping that this is the beginning of is the inclusion of our people, the inclusion of our history, and the inclusion of our young people coming up, to participate in this grand experiment.
John Proudstar watched Friday with hope as President Biden offered an apology to the Native people for the atrocities that took place over 150 years. A government-run boarding school system that separated Native children from their families. The policy that finally ended in 1969 led to the deaths of more than 900 Native children.
After 150 years, the United States government eventually stopped the program. But the federal government has never formally apologized for what happened. Until today, I formally apologize.
Proudstar believes the president's apology is genuine, but now he wants to see action.
What comes next? What will come of this? It's like planting a seed. You can plant seeds, it doesn't mean anything's going to grow. But hopefully this will, something will come to fruition from this. This will be a first step.
It's long overdue. Quite frankly, there's no excuse that this apology took 50 years to make.
Proudstar grew up in the 1960s. He recalls how his community was shunned. He says even his family tried to hide their Native American roots and existence.
Spoken to people who had to exist in the boarding schools. It affected my family. I didn't learn about our native blood until I was about 14, and it was just kind of this rumored thing in my family. My mom really didn't admit it until, she was on her deathbed. And I have siblings that just totally denied it, that we were Indian.
Proudstar witnessed this historic moment today with pride and sadness.
It shows how much our people have suffered and how long they suffered for, but we're here. And President Biden's statement and apology is a good step toward the future.
And Deb Haaland, the U.S. Interior Secretary, is Native American. In 2021, she commissioned an investigation into the boarding school system. It documented the cases of more than 18,000 Indigenous children, 973 of whom were killed. I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson.